a strikeout pitcher, is he?
No, he's a guy that pitches to contact. You saw what Livan Hernandez did on opening day. Livan throwing strikes, working in the strike zone, a great tempo, letting your defense work behind you. I mean, that's the buzzword around the Nats right now, pitching to contact. It's so popular, we think we're going to broadcast to contact today.
I think that's a good thing. Got to get some contact on both sides of the ball. The Nats only had 5 hits, no runs the other day. Come out of the opening game of the season hitting 161.
Yeah, I'd like to put some crooked numbers on the board today. Obviously, Tommy Hansen's got good stuff. Get to him early. A little key for him. If he's got a slider going early, he's going to be tough to hit.
All right, let's check in with Debbie with more on today's starter.
Well, Bob and FT, you mentioned how John Lannon pitches to contact. He is a ground ball pitcher, and he is definitely impressed and appreciates the improved defense of this ball club.
I'm a pitcher that pitches to contact. You know, as soon as I get away from contact, I start getting a little bit of trouble. So knowing that the middle infield and the corners and the outfield is so deep and so they're so good, you know, it just gives you that much more confidence to make pitches.
And speaking of confidence, John told me he still is humbled by his experience last year of being sent down to the minor leagues. He said he really learned a lot from that, and we'll see today if that will continue for him here. Bob, FP, back up to you.
All right, Debbie, thank you. And he's not pitching to Pudge Rodriguez today. John works with young Wilson Ramos.
Yeah, get his Nationals debut for 2011, Wilson Ramos today. Jim Riggleman said before the game, him and Pudge are going to switch off. They're going to alternate starts, go back and forth, and Pudge is okay with it.
And Jim Riggleman said this morning maybe the ball club is moving in the direction of Ramos being the #1 starter, but for now, not really anybody's say as far as who plays how many games or whatever. Take it as it comes and see how it all works out. Sure can't complain about the starting pitching the Nats got on Thursday.
No, Livan Hernandez, a veteran guy, a little bit nervous early, maybe having a tough time getting loose with the cold weather, but after he gave up the home run to Jason Hayward, really locked it in, and you expect that of a veteran guy. Sometimes you see younger pitchers early in the game, they falter. What do? They try to pitch harder. They try to pitch through it. Livan Hernandez, his pulse was the same from the time the national anthem was played till he came out of the game. A veteran guy did a great job of keeping the Nats in the game.
And, of course, the bullpen was good on Livan's heels as well, so the Nats come out of that game with a 2.00 ERA, and we would take that for a while. But today it's John Lannon, tomorrow Jordan Zimmerman, and then down in Florida we'll see Jason Marquis. Tom Gorzolani, by the way, will not be scheduled to start probably until next weekend, so he's in the bullpen for now. Here's the Atlanta Braves lineup, and it's the same starting 8 that Freddie Gonzalez featured here on Thursday. The big gun, of course, Brian McCann had a couple of hits and an RBI. Chipper Jones had a couple of hits, and Jason Hayward was that gun with the solo home run. And it added up to a 2-0 Atlanta win on Thursday. So the Braves also, like the Nats, come out of that ball game with 5 hits, 27 outs, hitting a .161, but they were 2 runs better than the Nats were on Thursday. And we're all encouraged about the way Washington played defense in that 2-0 loss on Thursday. I think the right side of the infield will be fascinating to watch this year with Espinosa and LaRoche over there on a steady basis. So here's the defense, pretty much the same with the exception of the catcher as it was on opening day.
Yeah, Morse, Ankiel, and Worth in the outfield. Desmond and Zimmerman on the left side. Espinosa and LaRoche, who you just spoke of, on the right side. And making his 2011 debut for the Nationals, Wilson Ramos behind the plate.
John Lannon, of course, the featured name in the middle of that diamond. Interesting to see how John comes out. He was so good in those last dozen or so starts when he came back from Double-A ball, not just sent down to Triple-A, but found his way at Double-A Harrisburg. He leads his team on to the field. Now the sun is out, so this is one of those April days. If you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes. 51 degrees, very humid. Winds gusting occasionally, 40% chance of more rain. Visit Train.com for an independent Train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train.
You see the numbers for John Lannon from last year, and he had a fantastic spring training this year. And went back to Harrisburg, worked on some things. He worked with pitching coach Randy Tomlin, him and Steve McCaddy both on the same page, doing a lot of communicating. He got a little mechanical adjustment, was too upright last year, wanted to get him more in an athletic position, get his arm in a comfortable arm slot. He found that arm slot at the end of last year, had great success at the end of the season, and he picked up right where he left off in spring training.
And by the way, John Lannon has 28 career wins, 5 of them against the Atlanta Braves, 5-4 with a 3.39 ERA in 10 career starts against Atlanta. So he hasn't exactly had the Braves number, but he does have a winning record against them. We can talk about stats and impressions, but when you look at what the defense actually did on Thursday, pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was fun for us, and it was fun for the fans to watch, but it was really fun for the other 4 starters to sit there and check it out. If you were John Lannon or Jason Marquis and you were sitting on the bench, you saw a different defense that you had in 2010. The guys just all over the place making plays, and what does that do for them? It gives them confidence when they go on the mound that it's all they have to do is throw strikes and let the D behind them work.
Especially important with a pitcher like John Lannon on the mound. We'll keep an eye on ground balls versus fly balls early in the game because the ground ball to fly ball ratio critical for a pitcher like Lannon. Jim Reynolds has the plate today. The crew chief Tim Welke is shuffled over to third. Mike DeMuro at first and Andy Fletcher second base. Martin Prado steps in, and we're ready for the ball game after what will be just over a 30-minute delay. Here's Lannon to Prado. First pitch fastball, yes. First pitch at 1:36, so officially a 31-minute rain delay to start the game. And Lannon goes with a heater and again misses low and away. Prado 0 for 4 on opening day. And as we mentioned, the Braves only had 5 hits like the Nats. They just made a couple of theirs count. Check swing, ball in the dirt. If you folks didn't notice, in some of the reading you might have done around Major League Baseball, Josh Willingham homered in his first at bat as an Oakland Athletic, and Adam Dunn had a couple of home runs. Drove in 4 for the White Sox on opening day. How about that? 1 home run, pardon me, for Dunn. And that one to the right side. Espinoza behind it to LaRoche.
And getting back to the defense thing, Danny Espinosa getting a tough chance, a hard hit ball right out of the gate, ready to play baseball. But watching a lot of games around the league yesterday, Bob, I was watching the Diamondbacks game, even the Giants the first couple of games, and we watched the Cardinals game together. Not a lot of crisp defense early in the season. We've seen a lot of physical mistakes early on in the year, so it's nice to see the Nationals making all the plays.
Nate McLouth 0 for 4 opening day. Lannon coming out, establishing the fastball early. And I think later in the season you would see maybe Brandon Hicks or Brooks Conrad in this Atlanta lineup today, but who needs a day off after a day off following opening day? So Freddie Gonzalez going with his regular guys. Looked like McLouth didn't like the call. 1-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball outside. John Lannon's numbers against the Braves. 5 of his 28 career wins. McLouth late for that.
And we were talking about him going back to Double-A last year. I mean, when you're a guy and you fly through the minor leagues as a pitcher, and the first time you struggle is at the highest level, you don't have a whole lot to fall back on. So sometimes it's good to take a step backwards to figure out what was going on wrong mechanically, maybe even mentally, fix that, come up and be the guy you were in the minor leagues.
John Lannon only pitched in 14 games in Low A at Vermont in 05, and then 27 games, 25 starts at Savannah 06. In 07, only 8 games at Potomac, 6 at Harrisburg, 7 in Columbus, and he found himself in the big leagues, facing the Phillies. And his first major league start, and we all remember what happened then when he hit Howard and Utley and got thrown out of the game.
And from a position player standpoint, if you're in the minor leagues and say you start a season 1 for 25, you know what you did to get yourself out of that, maybe an A ball. So if it happens to you again at the major league level, you have a resource to go to and how to get out of a slump.
Lannon blows it by McLouth for the second out.
I mean, so far so good from John Lanham. We saw this down in Florida, just a good tempo in the strike zone and putting him away with a little slider right there, 84 miles an hour. And like we talked about yesterday with Livan Hernandez, you want your pitcher to have a good tempo out there, get the ball, throw it, keep me in the game on defense.
Here's Chipper, a couple of hits. And a run scored, the first run of the game, and now he's 3 for 5 on the season. Tell us what he told you when he rounded first and tried to stretch that hit the other day. I
went up to him today at batting practice and said, Chipper, how's the knee doing? Obviously well, a double in your first at-bat on opening day. And testing Jason Worth right out of the gate. He said, FP, I got 2 steps around first base. And I said, what am I doing right now? It's Jason Worth in right field. But he said, I guess he thought the ball was a little bit wet, and he stretched it out into a double. He's feeling really good, obviously, with 3 hits on the young season.
Then, of course, he scored on the Brian McCann base hit, so taking that extra base was huge. Nats have the shift on for McCann, even though it's a lefty-lefty matchup. They still think he is most liable to pull the ball. Desmond up the middle, Espinosa short right field. He'll go left field. Michael Morse to his left, and John Lennon works a quick top of the first inning. Let's see if the offense can get on track for 2011. Much the same lineup with the exception of the man behind the plate as opening day. Lineup packaged by the UPS store. We love logistics. Denny Espinosa had a good day on opening day. Got one into the gap. Got a base hit in 3 trips. And so he's the only National with multiple hits as they get ready to face a very difficult young right-hander, Tommy Hanson.
And Tommy Hanson, fastball, slider, curve, change. A key to watch early on in the game with Tommy Hanson. If his slider is good, it's going to be a tough day for the Nats. He'll throw it down into left. He started out over the plate. It breaks off a table to righties.
Ian Desmond 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts opening day. Indication of how they might pitch him. Where's the center fielder? Righty-righty matchup, and Hanson evidently is going to keep the ball away from Desmond to try to get him out. He'll come inside for the second pitch and get a strike with it. But Nate McLeod is a good 8 steps toward the gap in right center.
There's a slider away. We were talking about the 2 strikes to Desmond. Talked to Ian Desmond before the game today, and every National to a man was saying how nasty Derek Lowe was on opening day, saying his slider was very good, his sinker was breaking off a table with late movement down and in.
High and tight with the heater. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And sometimes after you face a guy like Derek Lowe with movement all over the place, it's just nice to face somebody like Tommy Hanson, even though he has great stuff, but he's got that firm, straight fastball that hitters like to see.
And a two-hopper to the shortstop, Alex Gonzalez. Desmond starting the season 0 for 5. Jason Worth next.
And check out the Braves' defense today behind Tommy Hanson. Prado, McLouth, and Hayward in the outfield. Gonzalez and Jones on the left side. Ugla and Freeman on the right side. And doing the catch today for the Braves, Brian McCann.
Atlanta had lots of defensive problems last year. They were in the bottom 3 in the league in numbers of errors. And here's Worth, 1 for 4 with a base hit his first time on Thursday.
And one thing I noticed from opening day to today, Bob, is the ball was really flying in batting practice. A cold day on Thursday for the first game of the season. A little warmer today, and guys were hitting balls in places I haven't seen here in this ballpark in BP today, Jason Worth being one of them. He put on a show in batting practice.
Very muggy, but a little bit warmer. Maybe about 8 to 9 degrees warmer than it was here on Thursday. And it'll get beautiful Monday just in time for the Nats to leave town and head for Florida. On the corner. Worth didn't like the call. 1-2 with Zimmerman on deck. Ryan on base twice Thursday. Oh, look at that. Reaches out and hits the sweet spot deep into left center. Worth digging for 2. McLouth's throw, no contest. Jason Worth with his first Nationals extra base hit. Evidently he likes the first inning with the bat, huh?
Absolutely. I mean, that double was made right out of the box. Jason Worth doing a nice job of staying on the slider down the strike zone, staying through the pitch, staying on it. Took a couple fastballs for strikes and then battles with 2. But if you look at him right out of the box, he's getting it. He made that double the second he made contact. He told himself, that's a double, I'm going to stretch it. Nice job.
Hard to reach down and hit a ball that hard, that far. Breaking ball in the dirt. Worth had his secondary lead, but Brian McCann kept it close. Ryan 1 for 3 with a walk on Thursday. The Braves continue to play all the right-handed batters around to the right. A straightaway center fielder would have at least threatened to catch that ball a moment ago. Hanson takes a little bit off, and Ryan was out ahead of it.
But that's the off-speed we're talking about from Tommy Hanson, the one that just disappears at the last second. And good pitch.
Yeah, it was a strike for about 3/4 of the way to home plate, and it really fell down.
You got to keep an eye on Jason Worth. He's the kind of guy, if you fall asleep, great base runner, he'll steal a base. If you're not paying attention to him, he'll take third base. Dan Ugla cheating over, doing a good job of keeping him close. And a lot of times as a pitcher, you just do that little inside move that makes you aware.
And Zimmerman, he'll take the ball to the right side against a right-handed pitcher, like he does there, but it's hanging up for Jason Hayward into the corner. Worth will tag and head for third.
And we saw this down in spring training, Bob. You've seen it for years here with Ryan Zimmerman. Just a great job of staying on the baseball, getting right on the barrel of the bat. And look at the head down and the extension right there. Just a nice piece of hitting. Unfortunately, it didn't fall for him, but you know that's a good first at bat. That's something you can build on throughout the course of the game.
And it'll be up to Jason LaRoche now. We'll see if he can. Pardon me, Adam LaRoche. I've got Jason on my mind. See if he can deliver here with 2 outs. Wasn't able to do that with less than 2 outs here on Thursday. Breaking ball in there.
You talk about Tommy Hanson's delivery. He's got that short arm. Watch where he releases the ball right out of his right ear. So that'll take a guy that throws 92, 93. It'll look like 95, 96 to the hitter. A short arm motion. I used to like facing those guys that had the nice long arm motion. They took the ball out of the glove and gave you, you know, kind of like the Iron Mike machine look. But with Tommy Hanson, you look at where he releases the ball right out of his right ear, almost like a catcher throwing to second base. That makes it tough for the hitter. You got to gear up if you're hitting against a guy like that. Maybe start a little bit earlier than you normally would.
0-2.
You see that 93 right there on that fastball. And where he's throwing it, I mean, you'll look up at the scoreboard as a hitter and you'll say, oh, yeah, 93. That got on me a little bit fast. I need to get it going today.
36% of his RBIs last year in situations just like this. I like Jason Worth's aggressiveness as a base runner. We've seen him at second and at third, taking big secondary leads in case that ball gets away. And of course, that was all set up by his aggressiveness, getting himself to second base on the line drive to left center.
Yeah, all good base runners are fearless. They're not afraid to make mistakes.
LaRoche has battled back to 2-2 here. He was reaching, and Hanson has it. Each team will get a hit and strand a runner in the first inning. On the sunny afternoon now, Capitol Building is shining. No score after one. Now, after all the crazy weather we've had in the last hour and a half here, and just a short time ago, the one and only Larry King out to throw first pitch. Trying to get loose. Tyler Clippard on the receiving end of a ball all the way home on a fly, and it'll be time for some Ben Gay shortly.
Yeah, deceptive like Tommy Hanson.
Good to have Larry King in the ballpark today. Maybe somebody will interview him. Top of the second, Dan Uggla leads off. His Braves debut didn't go real well Thursday, 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts. Pirates have a couple of early runs at Chicago. That's the only other National League game. White Sox having a slugfest at Cleveland, 5-3 early. Just a handful of day games. Uggla will fly that one to center. Plenty of room for Rick Ankiel. Well, we talked about this on Thursday. Jason Hayward's 2 opening day homers to start his career. Now you get to see both of them. Carlos Zambrano last year in Atlanta. Look where that ball landed. And Thursday, Levon hung one upstairs, and he knew what to do with it.
All right, I've seen enough of those. And there's no truth to the rumor that Freddie Gonzalez went up to him today and told him it was opening day again.
I'd tell him that. Also had a walk on Thursday. And if the Braves have 2 kids, they've just told them, go out and have some fun. You're going to be playing at your positions for a lot of years. And that's this young man and Freddie Freeman at first base.
Yeah, I talked to Freddie Gonzalez today before the game, the Braves manager, and I asked him why all the lefties in the lineup against Atlanta, and he said, you know, it's early in the season. I want my guys to get their feet wet. I want them to play some baseball games before I start mixing and matching.
4-pitch walk. Looked like Lannon didn't want to mess with Hayward a whole lot. He's aboard with 1 out. Full season of action here at the ballpark, and check out the all-inclusive Power Pack ticket. It starts at $25 per ticket. A season-long plan offering parking, food, and drink. Nationals.com/Power Pack to check it out. Some restrictions to apply. Here's Alex Gonzalez. The 34-year-old shortstop went 0 for 3 on Thursday. But they've got Hayward and Freeman, the lefties, broken up by Gonzalez hitting between them.
That is a healthy lead by Jason Hayward at first base.
Lannon has now thrown 6 straight pitches out of the strike zone to start this inning. He cannot afford to do that. Hayward, by the way, stole 11 bases but was caught 6 times last year.
And that's a good trip by a young catcher right there. Wilson Ramos going out there and saying, hey, slow down a little bit, relax, get back in the groove. Maybe we'll try an off-speed pitch here to get you back in sync. You know, maybe you saw something. A lot of times a young catcher will be afraid to go out there. That's a good trip.
John Lannon's only about 2.5 years older than Wilson Ramos, so there should be no young guy, old guy thing going on here.
Yeah, but your first start of the year, you know, second inning, some guys will sit back there and say, hey, I'm just going to relax and put signs down. I don't want everybody to look at me run out to the mound, but just a short little trip right there. Tighten them up a little bit. Tell them what you're seeing from behind the plate. You know, everyone's talked about the leadership ability of Wilson Ramos. I think we all just saw it right there.
Pudge in on every pitch. We saw this last year. On days he's not playing, he looks like he's helping to coach the team. 3-1.
He's got that look, that managerial type look. He's a big influence on all the young players. He's done a great job since I've been here. Just listen to what he says to everybody.
Up the middle. And the Braves will have 2 aboard with 1 out. Not going to test an Ankiel arm on a play like that is Jason Hayward. So the Braves have 2 base hits down to the bottom of their order now.
And we've talked about since spring training the importance of strike 1 and getting ahead in the count. When you fall behind in the count, you take all the mystery out of it, and the hitter can sit on 1 pitch. And you saw with Gonzalez right there, just a fastball up in the strike zone. He was all systems go. Didn't try to do too much with it.
I'm looking forward to seeing somebody challenge Ankiel going first to third. Here's Freddie Freeman, the first baseman, lefty-lefty matchup. And he was 0 for 3 in his debut. And you and I talked about this before the game. I know you addressed it with Freddie Gonzalez. One of the toughest things for a young hitter at the major league level. Welcome, young man. You're hitting in front of the pitcher.
Yeah, and asked Freddie if he told him what to do. Do you take pitches and take your walks? Does he want him to expand the strike zone? He said, FP, I just want him to hit. I want to get him some at-bats under his belt at the major league level.
Right side, Espinosa. Didn't want a chance. The relay at second. He keeps it on the infield, and he gets an out, setting up Lannon against the pitcher to get out of the inning.
A great play by Danny Espinosa right here on a very hard hit ball by Freddie Freeman. And an even better play, not to force the force out at second base. Knowing the situation, knowing that Freddie Freeman's hitting 8th and that Tommy Hansen's coming up. And gets the second out right there. Now you have to deal with the pitcher. Great play. A great heads-up play. Just to throw it to first.
Hayward at third, Gonzalez at second. 081 career average for Tommy Hanson. First pitch, right side, Espinoza. And the Nats, with some smart defense, are out of the inning. A good battle back mode by John Lannon. Morse and Keel, Espinoza coming up. The Braves. 1 o'clock, Johnny and Ray, Nats Extra from the ballpark. 1:35. First pitch tomorrow, Masson HD. If you can't be at the ballpark, be with us on Masson. Top of the order, next inning for the Braves. Right now it's the middle of the order for the Nats. Morse, Keel, Espinoza coming up. Danny had a double on Thursday. And here are our doubles leaders among active players. And Pudge has the edge over the new Tampa Bay Ray, Manny Ramirez. And, of course, Chipper in the yard. Call Luna for up to 70% off all flooring. 877-241-LUNA. Shop smart. Shop Luna. Michael Morse, couple of strikeouts opening day. He was 0 for 4. Great production for his time at the plate last year. 98 games, 266 ABs. So if you give him 500 at bats, will he hit 30 homers and drive in more than 80? We may find out this year. Seattle never really gave him much of a chance to play every day. And for that matter, neither did the Nats until now. He's earned it.
Every day when I walk by Michael Morse, it blows my mind to think he was a shortstop. I mean, just huge. Looking at his frame, I look at, you used to play shortstop?
And of course, before Adam LaRoche was picked up by the Nats and Adam Dunn was already not coming back, there was some first base discussion about this big guy, 6'5", 230. That's outside. Good eye, and Morse is on for the first time this year. It's a beautiful day now. Still kind of chilly, though, at Nationals Park. After a 31-minute rain delay underway at 1:36. Debbie Taylor is here. FP Santangelo, Bob Carpenter. Thanks for joining us on Masson HD today. Rick Ankiel, a strikeout, a walk, 0 for 3 in his Nats debut Thursday. Ball gets away, and Morse is going to second. Ball retrieved by Dan Uggla, the second baseman, and the Braves will make their first error of the year.
Let's go Nats!
You know, Michael Morse is a guy you can't forget about at first base. You throw the ball away, you got instant double. I mean, that play was made right there by the 3-1 take. You think if you're Michael Morse, you had this fantastic spring training, you want to just get on the board and get your first hit. I would have bet the house that he was swinging 3-1. He took a borderline pitch. He got on base, and now he's running on second, nobody out.
That ball was thrown behind the base runner, so the error on the pitcher. Rick Ankiel is a guy who likes to drive the ball and hit for power. You would like him to at least find a way to advance the runner here. Nobody out. Nats will take that first run of the year any way they can get it. Counts even, 1-1.
You see Tommy Hanson staying away. He doesn't want Rick Ankiel to pull the ball right here. But like you said, Bob, it's the second game of the season. You haven't scored yet. Whatever you can do to get the ball the right side and get Michael Morse to third base with 1 out.
That'll work. He took an outside pitch and got it over to Freddie Freeman. Third base with 1 out, Michael Morse.
You check out the high fives right there from the Nationals on the bench. That's good fundamental baseball. That's how you score runs. You do that more times than not through the course of a 162-game season, you're going to win a lot of baseball games. And nothing used to frustrate me more than to see a guy come up with a runner on second and nobody out and hit the ball to the left side of the infield. So a good job by Rick Ankiel right there of moving the runner.
They're having a conference around the mound, but it appears Freddie Gonzalez is going to play his infield in early in the game here. Danny Espinosa had a really good opener on Thursday with a single and a double.
It'll be interesting to see if Jim Riggleman goes contact play with Michael Morse at third base, even though the infield is in. The Nationals worked on that in spring training, very aggressive at third base. Contact play is when the runner's going on anything on the ground. Try to get a good secondary lead at third base and score on a ground ball.
This is really unorthodox by Freddie Gonzalez early in the ball game.
A lot of respect for John Lannon is what this is.
Evidently. Danny's done everything else. Leads the team in hits along with Jason Wirth. He's played great defense. Why not get the first RBI? Ball in the dirt. Hanson taking a little bit off. Smothered by McCann. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And you bring the infield like this in, and you're Danny Espinosa. It opens up a lot of holes for you. Just love hitting in this situation. You hit the ball hard up the middle. You want to stay up the middle right here.
Breaking ball missing. 2-1. Ramos, the number 8 hitter, is next. If you're the Braves, you'd almost rather walk Espinosa than make a mistake. You would at least set up a double play with a catcher batting. There's a ball high in the air to left center. That'll be deep enough to put that first run of the year on the scoreboard. Nicely done by Danny Espinosa. The Nats have the lead.
That's just good fundamental baseball. We've been talking about it since spring training. We talked about it on opening day with the defense, and now we're seeing it with the offense. And get them on, get them over, get them in. They made it look very easy right there, but a lot of times you don't see it go that smoothly during the season. Great job. Michael Morse getting on. Rick Ankiel getting him over. And Danny Espinosa keeping it simple right there, not trying to do too much. Lofting a fly ball to left center field for the first RBI of the season. And I see stuff like that, Bob. That fires me up more than a 3-run home run. I like to watch a 3-run home run just like anybody else, but when you talk about playing good, fundamentally sound baseball, doing the little things, playing the game the right way, gets me pumped up.
2-1, way inside to Ramos. He came to the Nats and hit .269 with 14 hits in 15 games last year. A homer, 4 RBIs. It is first Major League homer against R.A. Dickey of the Mets, September 8th. Now he has a base hit, and that'll get it down to the pitcher's spot here in the second inning.
Wilson Ramos checking in his first debut of the season. You got to love that. Sometimes, as I said on opening day, the first hit is the hardest one to get. So not only do you check in with your first knock, you turn the lineup over and you get the pitcher to the plate with 2 outs. Good job.
John Lennon, 4 for 44 career. But he's made those 4 hits count with 4 runs batted in. Ian Desmond still hunting his first hit of the season. You know, if Lennon makes it out here, Desmond will lead off for the 6th time in a row in an inning. How about that?
Yeah, some analyst said early in the season that the leadoff hitter only leads off once per game.
Who was that genius?
The best color man in the league. Not so much.
It'll even out. Well, it just shows baseball's an unpredictable game. As soon as you think you have a feel on something, wrong. Two and two to John Lennon. Fastball just missing.
That's a good at bat already. If you're going to go up there as a pitcher and make the opposing pitcher fire 5 bullets, now 6, that's a great job whatever happens with this at bat.
He had to throw 17 pitches the first inning, and the Nats have made him work here. And now Tommy Hanson walks the pitcher. Second walk of the inning. The first one really hurt him. That'll earn a visit from pitching coach Roger McDowell. And a very hungry Ian Desmond is waiting to hit here.
Yeah, this is just a calm me down trip from Roger McDowell, talking to the Braves people before the game. Tommy Hanson's got a fiery temper out there, and I'm sure he's none too happy that he walked the opposing pitcher. But this is where, if you're the Nationals and you're Ian Desmond, you got to cash in. Anytime you get a freebie, that's like making an error walking the opposing pitcher.
Got a lot of speed out there. Ramos at second, Lannon behind him. The base runners nonetheless. The Nats already have 4 base runners today. They only had 7 on opening day the entire game on 5 hits and 2 walks. Hanson struggling with his release point at the moment.
He's all over the place, but if you're Ian Desmond, you have to be hit, no, meaning you're looking for a strike. You're hunting strikes right now, still being aggressive. You don't want to help Tommy Hanson out, but you have to be ready to hit in this situation.
Desmond more than a third of his RBIs last year in situations like this. Chipper scoops it, gets to the bag, and the Nats are done in the second inning. Chipper Jones with a nice play on the backhand side. Washington gets a run thanks to a leadoff walk, and Chipper prevents more runs in the inning. On Masson, brought to you by Verizon 4G LTE. Rule the air on the most advanced 4G network in the world. Nationals on top, 1-0. Haven't been able to say yet that until now. In the first 2 games of the season, they've called that run earned. Masson has a new show dedicated to you, the fan. Mid-Atlantic Sports Report, 90 minutes of news and info about the Nats. Rest of the league, live batting practice look-ins, reports from the field, roundtable discussions. Tom Davis, Phil Wood, Dave Johnson, Mel Antonin. Hottest topics in baseball, maximum access. Monday through Friday, 5:30 to 6:30, right here on Masson. 60 minutes of outstanding baseball talk. By the way, that will be an unearned run for the Nats in the second. Despite the Ramos hit with 2 outs, they ruled that Morse should have still been at first base when that single took place. A run's a run. The Nats have the lead, and here's Martin Prado. John Lannon got Prado on a ground ball to second, first time up. Prado 307 last year for the second consecutive year. Danny Espinosa again. Can one guy on the infield make this much of a difference in the first 2 games of the season?
Can one guy on one team win a Gold Glove in 2 games? Rookie of the year, you name it. Danny Espinosa has been all over the place on offense and on defense.
That ball's behind him when he caught it.
You just hope his wrist is okay. You see it kind of get caught underneath him right there as he rolls on top of it. I've seen a lot of guys hurt their wrist doing that. What happens is that the grass is very sticky and dry, even though there was a little precipitation today, and your glove just kind of gets caught and you roll underneath it. Maybe this is Wilson Ramos giving Danny Espinosa a little blow.
Yeah, good call. Danny's still flexing out there. He's played remarkably at that position. First 2 games of the year, he's been on base. He's driven in a run. Look where that ball is when he catches it.
You see his wrist go underneath right there.
Somehow the ball stayed in and the glove stayed on his hand.
Little highlight cesta action right there. Nice play.
Here's McLeod. Lannon misses, fastball up. High in the zone for a strike.
And that play's even bigger in the sense, and you'll hear me talk about this a lot during the season, shut down innings. When the Nationals score, the other team doesn't. Get you right back in the dugout, 1, 2, 3, and you try to add on to your lead. There's nothing worse as a team, or there's nothing more demoralizing than when you score some runs and you go back out on defense and your pitcher walks a guy, you see a ball in the gap. You know, you always want to have those shut down innings when your team scores.
John Lennon has some swing and miss stuff going today.
That swing and miss stuff when he's behind in the count. I mean, that's just a 2-1 challenge fastball right by Nate McLeod.
Oh, McLeod looking to the umpire. No signal yet. He's showing Jim Reynolds, who will now send him to first base. If he wasn't hit, he sold it well, and Jim Riggleman's going to come out and find out why did that call take so long.
You know, one thing I did a lot in my career, and you won't hear me talk about my career very often, was get hit by pitches. It didn't take a whole lot of talent. I just was dumb enough to stand up there and let it hit me. But a lot of times, and did this a couple of times, you'll actually kind of twist where the ball was supposed to hit you to make a red mark. But apparently there was the commissioner's name and some seams on the mark that Nate McLeod showed, because I'm not seeing that hitting him.
Lannon bounces one, Ramos to throw, and the ball dropped by Espinosa, trying to make the tag too quickly. McLeod to second on what will be a wild pitch. Ramos made it close.
Let's watch Nate McLeod on first base. A good job of reading the ball in the dirt, being aggressive right here. Good job by Wilson Ramos of getting on the baseball, but that play was made by Nate McLeod reading it early.
And that's a tough play for any infielder when the ball bounces and doesn't get there on a fly.
Yeah, and even if he did pick that, he wouldn't have got him.
Ball one pitch. That's a base hit, and this game will be tied. Nathan McLeod scores easily, and John Lannon digs his own hole right there with a hit batter and a wild pitch. Nathan McLeod first hit. Pardon me, Chipper Jones first hit and first RBI of the year. Boy, how well is Chipper swinging the bat starting the season here?
He's absolutely locked in, his 4th hit of the young season. And there was a lot of concern about Chipper Jones' knee and maybe his age, his mobility at third base. Is he as good defensively as he used to be? But I'll tell you what, early on the 2011 campaign, he's as good offensively as he's ever been.
And a strike to Brian McCann. Chipper Jones is now 4 for 6. McCann lined out to Morrison left center first time.
Check out Ian Desmond, the shift they got working on Brian McCann. You know, with one out and a runner on first base, shortstop's all the way over here. If he hits a ground ball to this side, sometimes it's tough for the shortstop to get back to second base. But obviously the scouting report telling everybody that McCann hits the ball to the right side.
Well, when you look back on this inning and think about the Espinoza play, this could have been a really rough inning for John Lannon.
And you usually, excuse me, Bob, when you see that shift, the third baseman will go to shortstop and he'll go with it. But Ryan Zimmerman pretty much playing where he always plays.
Breaking ball away. 1-2.
You look at Ryan Zimmerman right there, probably a little more in the hole than he would normally play at third base. You usually see the third baseman slide over to shortstop. Sometimes you'll even see the third baseman take the throw on the double play. A little 4-5-3 double play.
Ryan's done that in the past, and he enjoys it immensely. Great breaking ball for the strikeout. Lannon's second of the day. Second out of the inning, with Dan Uggla coming up.
Yeah, nice job on this 1-2 breaking ball, getting on top of it. Brian McCann obviously saw a fastball out of his hand. He committed to it, and the ball dropped out of the strike zone. So a good job by rebounding. John Lannon coming back in the strike zone after giving up the double and the single.
That ball hit hard by Uggla. Zimmerman has it to Espinoza. Great defense by the Nats in the third inning, preventing what could have been a big inning for the Braves. Espinoza first, now Zimmerman. Tie game. Alongside, having a good time at the ballpark. Bottom 3, 1-1 game. We'd like you to join the Nats to help the earthquake and tsunami victims in Japan. You can text Japan to 864-233 to donate $10 to UNICEF. 100% of the money goes to Japan. Standard texting charges apply. And thank you in advance for helping out our friends on the other side of the world. Bottom third. Adam LaRoche behind Zimmerman, behind Worth. And Worth reaching down to hit one hard to left center first time. His first extra base hit. That ball is scorched, heading for the scoreboard. It is off the board, and Worth has another double. Now, where he played last year, that's an easy home run. This ballpark a little more fair than it is in Philadelphia. That ball was really hit hard.
Well, when it warms up a little bit, too, that ball will be out of this ballpark. But Jason Worth, just a nice job. We talked about it in his first at-bat, the display he put on in batting practice today. Just a nice balanced swing, head not moving a bit, staying through the baseball. Nice piece of hitting. Now you got to get him over and get him in just like the Nats did before. Nats
haven't done that as far as driving anybody in or getting hits with runners in scoring position. 0 for 10 on the young season. Although Espinoza did deliver the sac fly after the Ankiel ground ball last time. Well, Jason Worth's bat has come alive, and here's Zimmerman. He flared one that almost got on the ground down the right field line first time. You're not looking for a little ground ball from your number 3 hitter right here. If you get it, fine. They want him to drive it. Up and in, 2-0.
Yeah, especially when you get ahead in the count 2-0. I mean, ideally, you would like Ryan Zimmerman to drive the ball up the middle to the right side, drive him in that way. But when you're ahead in the count, you got Tommy Hanson, who I don't think has his best stuff today. Maybe take a shot right here. What the heck? You get a ball down the middle, drive it, even if it is to the left side.
That hits Ryan Zimmerman. Fans are booing. And now Tommy Hanson has hit a batter after walking 2 last inning.
Yeah, the first 2 pitches were nowhere near. This is a 2-0 pitch, and he's just trying to throw a strike. And the Nationals have to take advantage. This isn't the Tommy Hanson that I saw at the end of the season last year. He was probably arguably one of the Braves' better pitchers. And so far in this ball game, he's not very consistent in the strike zone.
LaRoche back to the pitcher first time. Off to a 1 for 5 start. Changing conditions for the hitters here as clouds pass overhead, and as they pass by, sunny one moment, shady the next. Outside 2-0, and Tommy Hanson continues to fall behind. Worth the double. Zimmerman hit by the pitch. Nobody out, bottom of the third.
Such a fine line right here as a hitter. You don't want to help Tommy Hanson out at all. You're heading the count 2-0. Hey, there's a saying we used to say on the bench all the time, let the guy hang himself if he's going to throw balls. Don't help him out. But on the other hand here, you're hitting 4th and you're up in the count 2-0. Let it fly. I mean, look for one pitch in one spot and let it rip. And you definitely weren't looking for a 2-0 slider.
Well, pitchers will do that when they're struggling with control. It's a touch pitch, and a breaking ball forces you to stay within yourself as far as those mechanics. That's what he did. LaRoche out to right center. Short of the track. Worth is tagging. So is Zimmerman. And one of them will advance. Jason Worth continues to run the bases well today.
Check out the at-bat to Adam LaRoche right here, pitch by pitch. Just the first pitch fastball down in the strike zone. He's looking to keyhole a pitch, looking for a fastball in one spot. He's all systems go 2-0, but he gets a slider. Now 2-1, he gets a fastball in his happy zone. He's probably not happy with it, but it's a productive out. It got Jason Worth to third base with 1 out. And set the table for Michael Morse.
Nats are 0 for 11 now with runners in scoring position on the year, but Michael Morse doesn't need a hit to give the Nats the lead here. That's a busted bat that'll carry out to right field. Worth will score, and the Nationals will take the lead. Michael Morse hitless on the year, but delivering his first RBI. 2-1 Washington. You know, you have to be extremely strong to hit a ball that far when your bat shatters in half.
That's F4 if I'm hitting right there, but you see the strength of Michael Morse breaking his bat in half, being able to hit a 300-foot out to Jason Hayward, a sac fly. And once again, nice job by the Nationals offense. Get him on, get him over, get him in. That's the way you play baseball. They keep doing this over 162 games. There's going to be a lot of good things coming their way.
And I'm sure some of our astute fans sitting at home might have had this thought about the top of this inning with a hit batter, a wild pitch, a base hit. But there were also 2 good defensive plays. Last year, that inning is probably 3 or 4 runs for the Braves. This year, it's 1 because of the defense.
Well, that's a beautiful thing about being a new broadcaster here. I didn't see last year, so I don't have any idea what happened last year. It's all I know what I'm seeing right now, and so far, so good.
I've already forgotten about it. Outside 2-0. Rick Ankiel bounced the ball to Freeman first time to advance Morse, who had walked, gone to second on a pitcher's throwing error on a pickoff, and then he scored on the Espinoza sac fly. So the fundamental Nats have been good today, and Jim Riggleman preaches on that on a daily basis, and really every manager in baseball does. But Riggleman, who cut his teeth with Whitey Herzog in the St. Louis organization, huge on that. And they forced Hansen into an interesting pitching line here early. That's low, 3-0.
His 55th pitch of the game already. We see a lot of counseling going on from the Braves, whether it's a pitching coach, a manager, a catcher. A lot of trips to the mound so far trying to calm down Tommy Hansen.
Ankiel was pumping on 3-0. The dugout gave him the green light. Runner going. I like it. Ankiel lifting one to right. It's heading for the scoreboard. Home run! Rick Ankiel. 4-1 Nationals. Kind of power he has. He took a rip on 3-0, and on 3-1 he didn't miss it for his 56th career home run.
You keep falling behind, Major league hitters are not going to miss 3-1 fastballs.
And Espinoza goes up ripping.
Rick Ankiel let it loose on 3-0, took the same swing on 3-1, just squared that ball up. Hit one similar yesterday. As we talked about earlier in the broadcast, the ball was flying in batting practice today, and it's flying during the game as well.
Hey, nothing wrong with first-row homers. Hayward hit one here Thursday. Now Espinoza, who's in hack mode, fouls it. No balls, 2 strikes.
And great shot of the guys greeting Rick Ankiel in the dugout after he came back. It just goes to show you what kind of clubhouse the Nationals have this year. You know, Bob, you and I spent a lot of time with them in spring training. We've been around them a lot. These guys are all rooting for each other. They're on the same page. It's a fun bunch to be around.
0-2 pitch. A footnote on Ankiel, 12th player in big league history to hit his first homer as a pitcher and then later as a position player. He goes deep. 3-run third for the Nats, who lead the Braves 4-1. And the Nats lead 4-1 with the middle innings coming here. We serve today for a safer tomorrow. That's DynCorp International. We recognize our troops here at the ballpark. Every home game, they gather in the President's Club section behind home plate. They doff their caps, and we honor them for their service to our country. Hi, guys. Having a good time at the yard today after a slight rain delay of a half hour. Top of the fourth inning, John Lennon's 44th pitch of the day as a ball to Jason Hayward. Top four underway. The Nats have been opportunistic today. A hitter that's walked and a hitter that's been hit by a pitch, both scoring. Alex Gonzalez and then Freddie Freeman in the Atlanta fourth. And Lennon continues to make some of these Braves hitters swing and miss. He's fan two, walked one, hit one, thrown a wild pitch, but has a 3-run lead. And his pitch count reasonable for 3 innings at 43. Tommy Hanson has thrown 60 pitches. Sometimes when John opens up, that ball sails up and into left-handed batters.
Well, it's a big pitch for him. I mean, we talked about the shutdown inning last time. The worst thing you can do when you have a big inning is walk the leadoff man.
Walked Hayward with 1 out back in the second. That was on 4 pitches. This time he gets a ground ball. LaRoche will gobble it up.
And there's so many little parts of the game that are just huge parts. I mean, you have a 3-run home run by Rick Ankiel. You have all the momentum in the world. And now you have a guy like Jason Hayward, who we chronicled earlier in this broadcast with all the home runs on opening day. He's a force at the plate. And just a simple 3-2 pitch in the top of the fourth inning is a big deal, especially when you score. So getting the out right there, keeping the leadoff man off the base, it's bigger than you would think.
Here's Alex Gonzalez, who singled up the middle first time. Scorches one off the glove of Zimmerman. Ryan got a piece of it. Base hit Gonzalez. He's 2 for 2.
This is how fast it gets on you at the hot corner. If you're Ryan Zimmerman, you're ready for that baseball. It just had a little too much heat on it.
Yeah, Ryan thought he should have had it. Well, FP, we all know that you were in San Francisco last year and years before. You saw a team that did a lot of little things correctly last year to win a division a division series, an LCS, and eventually the World Series. I mean, the Giants weren't the kind of team that would pound you every night. They did everything fundamentally solid.
They caught the baseball. They got timely hitting. Their pitchers threw a lot of strikes and kept the defense behind them in the baseball game. You know, and they were big on shutdown innings. You know, if they scored a run, they wanted to get the team off the field. And there was times during the season when that staff struggled, and you know, the defense maybe stayed on the field a lot longer than they would have wanted to. But for the most part, with that staff, they were really good at if the Giants scored a run, you know, 1, 2, 3, get you back in the dugout, add on to your lead.
1-1 to Freeman. Base hit right field. Runner rounds the bag, and Worth throws in behind Gonzalez. 2 on, 1 out. Pitcher coming up. Tommy Hanson should be bunting here. Well, one of the greatest baseball quotes I've ever seen was in George Will's wonderful book, Men at Work, when Rick Dempsey said, for 6 months, you catch the ball, you move runners, you do all the little things you need to do every day, and you look up, and you've won. It doesn't happen for every team, but when you're fundamentally sound for a long season, it usually pays off wonderfully in the end. And that's a great way to look at this game. It's a day-to-day process by doing the right little things.
We used to say the same thing, and then you pick your own friends after that.
Last day of the season, tomorrow you pick your own friends. Other great sayings, of course, it's a long season and a small booth.
It's getting small already for you, partner?
No, we got plenty of room up here.
Hey, you read the newspapers?
Offering to bunt and missing it. Hanson. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, this is where if you're Tommy Hanson, you can help yourself out. When you think of the Brave staffs in the 90s, Glavine, Maddox, Smoltz, those guys did a fantastic job in the 9-hole of helping themselves out, doing the little things offensively, moving runners, you know, hitting behind runners. We haven't had a good day on the mound so far, but you can really help yourself right here.
Desmond, they got him. It appeared he must have missed the tag. Andy Fletcher calling the runner safe. Riggleman saw what I did. The ball beat the runner to the bag. Desmond's been sneaking in behind Gonzalez, and it looked like they had him.
The Nationals worked on this play extensively in spring training. There was a game in Jupiter against the Cardinals where they ran it to perfection and picked the runner off. Same thing right here. A great job by Ian Desmond sneaking behind Gonzalez, and a better job by John Lannon with just quick feet, a quick throw right on the money. Let's take a look at it. He looked out from up here.
Very close. Desmond got him on the arm. According to Andy Fletcher, Gonzalez got his arm back to the bag.
A lot of times with the umpires, if the throw just beats you, you don't necessarily have to put the tag on him. I know, you know, people might be shaking their head at that, but the throw beat him right there, and it was a good enough tag.
Hanson lays one down. That's a good bunt. Ramos to Espinoza. 2-4. Sacrifice is good. Weekend Family Fun Pack is upon us here at the ballpark. It's not just Sundays anymore. Starting at $14 includes a ticket, hot dog, chips, and a Coke. Go to nationals.com/family for tickets. Some restrictions do apply, but the bottom line is this year it is Saturdays and Sundays. 2 on, 2 out. Gonzalez at third, Freeman at second. Leadoff hitter Martin Prado hit the ball hard last time. Espinoza robbed him of a hit. This is a can of corn to center field for Rick Ankiel, and Lannon's out of the inning. John's had some adversity to deal with, but he keeps shutting down the Braves. total bases with a pair of doubles. Sac flies, Danny Espinosa, Michael Morse. The big blast, though, Rick Ankiel, 2 outs in the third.
He had a 3-0 green light, swung right through it, got the same pitch, 3-1, maybe a little more on the inner half of the plate. Anytime he hits a ball, he puts such a tremendous amount of backspin on it with his down to the baseball, so right down to the ball swing and the good extension. Instant offense, 3 runs for the Nats. And a hero's welcome back to the dugout.
There are a lot of people around Major League Baseball who have a great deal of respect for Rick Ankiel for the way he had to reinvent himself after his pitching problems and becoming an everyday player. I mean, guys just don't do what he has done. Ramos leads off, bottom of the 4th. Looked like a front door changeup on the inside corner, 0-2. Ramos base hit opposite field first time. John Lannon, Ian Desmond to follow here in the 4th. Tommy Hanson, by the way, 60 pitches coming into the 4th inning. Nats have made him work long and hard. Ramos turns on one, lining it to left for a base hit. Prado picks it up on a hop, and Wilson Ramos' debut, 2 for 2. Geico President's Race, we took a step back in time a few moments ago with some tandem bike racing. Abe and Teddy were looking good, but they had a hard time at the turn. And at the end, nowhere to be found as Tall Tom and George take it.
George by a nose.
Tom on the taking one on the chin, literally. Good bunt by John Lannon. The 14th sacrifice bunt of his career. And the fundamental Nats keep doing some things right here. Lannon, how about his day at the plate? A walk and a sacrifice.
And just talking about the 9-hole helping yourself out, John Lannon, a great at-bat his first time, a 3-2 walk. And a better job right there getting Wilson Ramos in scoring position.
Time for Ian Desmond to get in that hit column. Runner at second, 1 out. Skies darkening overhead. Lights are taking full effect here. It's going to be one of those days when we have several different climates. Desmond, first pitch swinging. Weak little grounder. Chipper Jones, 2 outs, and Desmond's 0 for 7.
Come on, Jay.
That's a look off toward the north. Right up Half Street toward the Navy Yard station. And here's Jason Worth with a runner at second. This will be interesting to see how the Braves approach him, because he obviously is seeing the ball well today.
And this is the first time you're going to see, the wheels turn with Jason Worth in the 2-hole. I mean, you could walk him here, you could put him on, but then you have to face Zimmerman or LaRoche.
Few raindrops start to fall. First pitch breaking ball drops in. Worth a double to left center and then one off the scoreboard in right center. Crowd scrambling as the rain falls now.
It just dropped about 10 degrees, huh? Wow.
Wind is really blowing hard right from the left field corner. Oh, 0-1 to Jason Worth. And he'll hit it off to the right side out of play.
This is a tough position to hit in for a hitter, anybody. You got the wind blowing, you have raindrops pelting you in the face. A lot of times the raindrops will build up on your helmet and just be dropping off into your face, and especially when there's a little hail falling.
Look at this. Well, yeah, we do have some hail coming down.
Holy cow.
They're going to pull the teams off the field at 2:51 Eastern Time. I don't know. I've been doing baseball games since 1984 in the big leagues. I have never seen hail. at the moment the game was halted. Unreal here in D.C. We had pregame showers. They eased off. The sun came out. The clouds came and went floating by, and now a bona fide rain and hailstorm here at Nationals Park. So the Nats lead 4-1. When we come back eventually, Ramos at second base, 2 outs, and a count of 0-2 on Jason Worth. A rain and hail delay at Nationals Park. ESPN News coming your way. When there's baseball, we'll be back before the next pitch of the game. and leading here as we approach the 5th inning. There might be another weather front approaching a little later. We'll wait and see about that. First of all, FP, the Nats have played fundamental baseball on both sides of the ball today.
Yeah, if you're drawing it up how you wanted to go for the 2011 season, the first 3 2/3 innings of this game have been perfect for the Nationals. Getting guys on, getting them over, getting them in with sacrifice flies. We're looking at Michael Morris' sacrifice fly to score Jason Worth, who's hit a couple balls right on the screws today. So they're doing everything right, including the pitcher, John Lannon, bunting guys over. And very early in this ball game, a lot of ball game left to play.
Not always easy for a pitcher to bunt a rather slow-running catcher down to second base, but the Nats have done things so well, and we haven't even talked about the defense since before the rain and hail delay. But I think the big difference in this ball club in the first 2 games of the year is the way they're catching the ball.
Yeah, and Danny Espinosa's been doing a great job at second base, just picking everything that's coming his way. It's going to be interesting to see how John Lannon reacts to that big, long delay. He's going to be pitching for the Nationals, sitting around for a while, and we'll see how he does.
We are told that John Lannon said to Jim Riggleman, I want to go back out there, just a couple of outs away from a possible W. And so, John's got some time. The Nats are still batting, so he can relax for a minute, kind of regather himself. It is kind of an unusual situation when a guy pitches for the better part of an hour or more, and then he's got to come back and perform again after a long delay.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see Jason Worth, too. He's been waiting an hour with an 0-2 count. And there was times in my career where I felt like I was walking to the plate every single night with an 0-2 count. But Jason Worth has been on fire today. You look at the extension right there, just reaching out on his first double, getting into the gap, and then the second time up, he hit a ball that I thought was going out of this ballpark. Just let it get deep. Nice extension right there. And with the way the wind picked up right before the rain delay when Jason Worth was hitting, he hits that same ball again. It was out of here. So a nice day working for Jason Worth. So far, so good.
Next up for the Braves will be Christian Martinez, 28-year-old right-hander. For Atlanta last year, 18 ball games, no record, a 4.85 ERA. One of those many good arms they have in the Atlanta organization. So they will pull Tommy Hanson after 3 2/3, 5 hits, 2 walks, a strikeout, an error. A hit batter gave up a home run to Rick Ankiel in the 3rd inning. And if you look at the Braves lineup, they're not going to be down at their number 9 hole for quite a while, so he could pitch a couple of innings before they have to pinch hit for him.
He got a sinker, 88 to 91, little 4-seam fastball. He'll run in there about 90 to 93, a slider and a change to go with it. So Tommy Hanson had a tough day today. Wasn't real sharp in the strike, so the Nationals took advantage of it with the big Rick Ankiel 3-run home run. Interesting to see how Jason Worth reacts to that 0-2 count he's been sitting on for a while.
At second base, Wilson Ramos, who led off the inning with a base hit. Lannon sacrificed him to second. Desmond grounded out to third. And here's the 0-2 to Jason Worth, who has to be in hit mode. He is. Ground ball left side. Chipper can't get it. And the Nats will have runners at the corners with 2 outs. And third base coach Bo Porter, as soon as he saw Chipper not make contact with that ball, he ran to the bag to tell Ramos not to round the bag.
And Chipper Jones going to his left. Looked a little bit stiff right there, sitting around for about an hour. We talked about how his knee is healthy this year, but not the best first step right there by Chipper that I've ever seen him take, and the ball gets by him. And we'll see how they score that.
They've given him an error. Bo Porter went screaming for the bag to make sure Ramos didn't round the bag, because Gonzalez, the shortstop, had picked up the ball, and he was coming in behind the base runner. Here's Ryan Zimmerman. Fastball up and away. Nationals on top 4-1, trying to add to it, and the Braves have made their second error of the day.
That's a tough error right there. That ball was hit hard.
The one thing I think that comes into play, maybe 2 things. First of all, does a major league player make that play? I think the answer to that would be yes. Secondly, the infield has been covered. It's not a wet ball on ground balls like that. The dirt's fine. And the score ruled the Chipper should have made that play. Zimmerman takes a 2-0 fastball called a strike. Ryan hit by a pitch, scored a run last time up. Way outside, ball 3. Does a Major League third baseman should be expected to make this play? Not an easy play.
Going to his left right there, gets the glove down. I guess you have to ask yourself, was it a routine play? And more importantly, if you're Ryan Zimmerman, you're looking for a fastball that you can drive right in.
That's a breaking ball, low and away, and the bases are loaded for Adam LaRoche. Adams 0 for 2 today, 1 for 6 as a Nat.
Well, you love to take advantage of the extra outs, Bob. We've been talking about for 2 games now how well the Nationals have been playing defense, but when you get an opportunity like this, you're up by 3 runs. You want to play some add-on baseball. You want to add to your lead, take advantage.
And Martinez misses. Three grand slams, 263 career with the sacks juiced. Hunting his first Nationals RBI, or maybe more. This is Martinez's first appearance. Did not appear in the ballgame on Thursday when the Braves used 4 relievers. At third base, Ramos with a base hit. Worth reaching on the error. Zimmerman the walk. Brian McCann to talk to Christian Martinez from the Dominican, claimed by the Braves off waivers from Florida April 8th of last year. 2 years ago, 15 games in relief for the Marlins. He had been in the minor leagues for the better part of 7 years. And LaRoche broke his bat on a ground ball to Dan Uggla. Long inning over. Highlighted by a long rain delay to the 5th. John Lennon back to work with a 4-1 lead. (4-1) Nats. Let's check in with some trivia. We're looking at Pudge. AT&T. 475 career hits in March, April. Third most since 1950. Wow. First and second. Now, how would we know that? Who are some of the quickest starters in baseball? Since 1950? Nate McLouth. We dominated last year in trivia. This year, they're not giving us a chance.
Well, this year your partner's not the sharpest tool in the shed either, so you're on your own, buddy.
I mean, these questions are no way. In case John Lannon runs into problems, Chad Godin will be ready. A guy who can start, relieve, go long. Lannon misses with a fastball, 2-1. All right, FP, what are you looking for in Lannon's delivery and his demeanor coming out of the break here of almost an hour?
Well, the obvious thing, strikes. I mean, you want to pound the strike zone right now. He was doing such a nice job of it before the rain delay. Stay in the strike zone, trust your defense, get some outs, get him back in the dugout, and qualify for a win.
Then he gave up some hits, but he always came up with a big 2-out pitch to get out of some of those jams. And in this case, he strikes out Nate McLeod for the second time today. John Lannon's third strikeout overall.
Yeah, it's a tough situation to be put in, too. You have the hour rain delay, but, you know, Jim Riggleman and Steve McCaddy making the decision to run him back out there. I mean, it's not every day that you're qualifying for a win up 3 runs against the Braves, and I think, you know, so far so good. He looks loose. He looks like the rain delay has had zero effect on him. I mean, the first thing you look for is strikes.
There's Chipper, 2 for 2 today. And in this series now, Chipper's had base hits in 3 consecutive at-bats. Jones has gone left field up the middle with his hits, batting left-handed. And today, right field and up the middle, batting right-handed. Dangerous hitter on deck, Chipper Jones with a 3-0 count. And by the way, that play involving Chipper off the bat of Jason Worth has been changed, and Jason Worth is now 3 for 3. Good call. Chopper to third. Zimmerman on the run when he's at his best. 2 outs. Get live Nationals breaking news coverage. Text Nationals to 29292. Message and data rates may apply. Masson Mobile Live. I don't have a problem with them changing that call at all. I think most home scorers around baseball would give their guy the base hit there. This ball popped in the left. Well, I guess John Lannon was ready to come out after the rain delay.
Nice
Against
job.
2, 3, and 4, he goes 1, 2, 3. Morse and Keel and Espinosa coming up. Mark from out there in left field. Jason Worth is 3 for 3, and the Nats lead the Braves 4-1. Let's have a look at our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. And it was quite a blast. 3-1 pitch from Rick Ankiel.
Yeah, you got the green light on the 3-0 pitch just to get loose, and then you got a 3-1 pitch that was supposed to be outside, found a lot of the plate. And we saw this a lot in Florida. Rick Ankiel is healthy now. And his swing looks better than ever.
How about the animation of Jason Worth greeting him in the dugout? And the Nats were staked to a 4-1 lead. It appears John Lannon now may be done for the day. They wanted him to come out, get that 5th inning, possibly get the W. Chad Godin is still warming up in earnest, and John Lennon may be through for the day after 5 solid innings and 68 pitches. Bottom 5, Michael Morse has walked, scored, and hit a sac fly. A ball he hit fairly deep into the outfield while his bat shattered in his hands. The fastball by Martinez evens the count 1-1.
Yeah, that's not a pitch you want to offer at when you're heading the count 1-0. A guy like Michael Morse with a lot of power looking for the ball up in the strike zone. That's a good take. Sometimes, even though it's a strike, you're not looking in that zone, that location.
Right on the corner. But I think today Jim Reynolds has been pretty consistent with that call away from right-handers.
Man, just a backdoor sinker from Martinez catching the outside of the plate. It's still a pitch you don't want to offer at until you get to 2 strikes.
And Morris in the air to right for Jason Hayward. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. There's Ankiel, 1 for 2 with the home run. And suddenly the team leader in RBIs. And he hits that ball well to right center, but it's hanging up for Hayward. He'll go to his right and grab it for the second out. Ankiel swinging the bat pretty well, though. Espinosa here at the top of the hour will step in. 4 o'clock in our nation's capital. It's taken a while to get 5 innings in on a rain-delayed 2 times afternoon. Bob, FP, and Debbie here at the ballpark as the Nats try to even their record. And right now, a 4-1 lead, bottom 5 against the Braves. Espinosa steps in. Danny with a sac fly in the second. Looked at a called third strike in the third. And he'll pull it to Dan Uggla. Quick inning for Martinez. Suddenly into the 6th. We'll see if the Nats bullpen comes into play with Washington up by 3.
Cam. Let's go back to the second inning and check out Danny Espinosa. Heads-up play for a young kid. A lot of times you'll see a guy make a great play, get a little excited, and try to make the force out at second base. Danny Espinosa getting up, checking the runner, and knowing that he has Freddie Freeman running down the first baseline. But what he really realizes is that the pitcher's on deck with 2 outs. So now instead of trying to force it at second base and making a wild throw, a very heads-up play of knowing who's coming up to the plate, and the Braves pitcher and Tommy Hanson.
And then John Lannon very early in the count grounded out Hanson to end that threat. And the Braves stranded 2 runners. Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Here's our in-game box score for the Braves. They've had their hits, 5 of them, but they've stranded 6 base runners already, plus a walk and a hit batter. They have an RBI base hit by Chipper Jones, his first ribby of the year. This one goes to the 6th. John Lannon is done for the day, and Chad Godin will take over. 12 games in Oakland last year, 30 in New York with the Yankees. He's pitched in 75 Major League games as a starter, 258 as a reliever with the Rays, the Jays, the A's, Cubs, Padres, Yankees, A's, and then back to New York. So he's been well traveled.
Rays, Jays, and A's?
Yep. And then he did the A's again. Dan Uglow for 2. Jacks one to left. Threatening to leave the park. And gone. Dan Uglow's first homer as a Brave. Great effort by Michael Morse. He just couldn't get it. Uglow figures, new pitcher. Might be looking to groove strike one, and he was ready for it.
Yeah, that's a straight ambush by Dan Uglow, ready for a first pitch fastball. You see the location mistake. Wilson Ramos setting up on the outer half of the plate. The ball tailed back on the inner half, and Dan Uglow ready to hit, and we all know about his pop.
33 for the Marlins last year with 105 RBIs. That was his 155th career home run.
I'm wondering if Michael Morse had a chance to catch that baseball.
Well, if it gets into the seats, he probably did not have a chance because there's a gap between the wall and the first row.
But did this fan get in the way is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that's well above Michael's reach, but that was close. Here's Hayward, who's walked and grounded out. That gets Doug Slayton up in a hurry. Right-handed Gonzalez is next, and then left-handed Freddie Freeman after that. These bullpens might get lots of work today. 3-1. Chad Godin's always had a great arm, but he's never had a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. In his career, 518 strikeouts, but 308 walks in 662 innings.
He was great in spring training, did a lot to make this ball club. Had a good fastball at times, a very good slider all spring long. When he's good, he's down in the strike zone, keeps the ball below the hitter's knees. And that pitch to Uglow was up.
Inner half, and he hit it. Alex Gonzalez is 2 for 2 today. Base hit off the glove of Ryan Zimmerman last time. Target inner half. He missed on the outer half, but he'll get the pop up to Zimmerman. Help the earthquake and tsunami victims in Japan tomorrow. If you pay $10 for a ticket, and some seats in the ballpark will be priced as low as $10, $5 of that will get donated to the relief effort. Visit nationals.com/JapanAid. Some restrictions apply. See a ball game at a great price and come and help our friends in Japan tomorrow. Jordan Zimmerman and Tim Hudson. 1:35 first pitch. Alex Gonzalez with a base hit up the middle in the second, then that one down Zimmerman's way in the fourth. Chicago Cubs won their first game of the year today, beat the Pirates 5-3, the only other game in the National League today. Full slate tonight. White Sox are 2-0. They won 8-3 at Cleveland. Toronto beat Minnesota at home, and the Royals beat the Angels for the second time in 3 games. Those are the afternoon finals, with this one taking a while thanks to the weather. 3-0 pitch. And a 4-pitch walk from Godin to the right-hander Gonzalez in a 2-run game. That could usher him out of this game. We'll see how Jim Riggleman approaches it. He's got a left-hander ready. And here he comes. Not a great debut for Chad Godin. Home run on the first pitch by Dan Uggla. 1 out later, a walk to a right-handed batter on 4 pitches, Alex Gonzalez. It'll be Slayton against Freeman. Is it a new ball game? The Braves are trying to make it that way. Out of the rain, sunshine right now, but quite chilly. But Rodriguez, one of the fastest starters in big league history. 3rd most hits in April, followed by March. Of course, March is always very short, a day or two since 1950. 1st and 2nd, who are the hit guys? Well, that's pretty logical, those two.
That's 4th.
Pete Rose and Tony Gwynn.
Doug Slayton on for the Nationals. Fastball about 91, slider. Changeup goes about 84. If you remember on opening day, the one lefty he faced was Jason Hayward. He walked him. Lefties last year hitting 151 off Doug Slayton.
Lefty-lefty matchup and a fly ball to right. Well hit. Back is Worth, and he loses it. If he gets it back in quickly, Gonzalez will not be able to score. Jason Worth looking right into the sun. If you see his shadow, the sun is coming in right from behind home plate on the third base side.
Yeah, that's just a tough break for the Nationals right there. Jason Worth going back on this baseball, and that's a good point you made, Bob. You look at the shadows of the players, the sun right over the third baseline right now. I talked to Jason Worth before the game today. He said he actually lost the ball in the lights on opening day with the cloudy skies, and he obviously loses this one in the sun.
Brooks Conrad, a switch hitter, has been announced as the pinch hitter. And Jim Riggleman's going to go with Tyler Clippard here. So the bullpen unproductive here in the 6th inning. 3 hitters, a homer, a walk, and a double. It'll be Clippard's turn with the Braves now possibly on the verge of tying the game. And they'll have Brooks Conrad now bat left-handed against the Nats right-hander Tyler Clippard. DC 50 joins us for the series finale tomorrow. First pitch 1:35 on MASN HD. And then after an off day Monday on to Florida for 3. And this time next weekend, the Nats will be in the middle of a weekend series at Citi Field against the Mets. Double switch by Jim Riggleman. Batting ninth, playing left field, Lance Nix. So the pitcher spot is where Michael Morse was, fifth in the order, and that will be Tyler Clippard. Clippard, 2/3 of an inning with a strikeout in good fashion on Thursday. That was Gonzalez and Freeman he faced. This time it'll be Brooks Conrad at the bottom of the order. Infield is back. The Nats have a 2-run lead. Zimmerman, the only infielder with a play at the plate on a ground ball. He's maybe a step or two behind the baseline from second to third.
It's unfortunate that Jason Worth lost that ball in the sun. When you look at, players nowadays, and this is where I officially sound old as a broadcaster, we used to wear those flip-down glasses. And, those glasses that Jason's wearing, everybody in baseball wears them now. But when the ball gets in the sun, when the ball's directly in the sun, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Some of those flip-down glasses from back in the day, you could flip them down, and it's like welder's goggles. You could look right into the sun and see the baseball.
I remember we had a debate about that last year during a home game here. And our clubhouse guys were a little taken aback at criticism of these glasses. They claim these glasses are every bit as good as the old flip downs.
Well, maybe they are. I wouldn't know. But the ones that I wore, the regular ones, they help with the glare off the bat. But when the ball's in the sun, I guess there's no real sunglass that can help with that. When the ball's right in the middle of the sun, there's not a whole lot you could do except for burn both retinas.
And again, if you look at Jason Worth's shadow in right field, it is directly behind him on a line from the third base side. So he was looking right into the sun with that ball coming out there.
And there's nothing you can do. I mean, as an outfielder, you're helpless. It's the worst feeling in the world. You know where the ball should be. You just can't see it.
3-1 pitch. Clippard with some high gas throws it by Conrad.
Brooks Conrad, all systems go 3-1. He's looking for a fastball. He got one up in the zone, and Tyler Clippard just threw it right by him.
Second and third, one out in a 2-run game. Conrad sounded like he might have broken his bat on a little fly ball foul, and he will go back for a new piece of lumber.
And the worst part about that play with Jason Worth is, you know, there's nothing you can do as an outfielder when that happens, and then you start thinking about it. You're like, please don't hit the ball in the same angle in the sun. You know, I just went through heck trying to get to that baseball. I couldn't see it, and you're out there just praying that the ball finds anybody else. And there's only a couple minutes where that sun is going to be right in your eyes. You know, obviously, there's that small window, just like on night games before the lights take over. When the ball gets out of the stadium, there's a certain 5-minute period where as an outfielder you can't see the baseball as well.
3-2 with 1 out. Clippard with a fastball for a strikeout. The capability to get the K that you need with those runners at second and third. And a big second out.
And you talk about the deception in Tyler Clippard's motion. There was no deception right here. It was good old-fashioned country hardball, 3-2 fastball right by Brooks Conrad. You look at Conrad right here, just a hair late, and you wonder with first base open right there, maybe Brooks Conrad thinking this isn't an absolute fastball count. And Tyler Clippard, known for the great changeup, got the fastball by him.
And here's a good fastball hitter in Martin Prado. Prado 0 for 3. And you're a little nervous when you note that he's 0 for 7 to start the season. Good hitter, 307 last year. He'll hit it in the air to left center. Nix on a tear. He ran hard to get there, so he's waiting for it. And Tyler Clippard gets 2 big outs in the top of the 6th. Nats give up a run, still lead by 2. Sixth. Ramos, Nix, and Desmond bottom of the 6th. The Nats have a busy box score today. Jason Worth, 3 of Washington's hits. Ankiel has the other, a big fly back in the 3rd. Ramos 2 for 2. And when you go with a couple of walks, a hit batter, the Nationals have had runners all over the bases here in the first 5 innings. They'll face their 3rd Atlanta pitcher, 33-year-old veteran Scott Linebrink. Came over from the White Sox in December. He's been in the National League for a number of years with Houston and San Diego. Brief stop in Milwaukee back in 07. Last 3 years, though, with the White Sox. And in that time, he's pitched in 159 games.
Fastball, slider, split change. Got a heavy 2-seam fastball. He'll run up there 93 to 96. Pretty good slider, too.
Wilson Ramos locked in here early. A base hit to right in the 2nd. Pulled one down the line in the 4th inning. In left. Interesting time of the day now approaching because of the rain delays, which have made this game about an hour and a half later than it would have been at this point. The shadows are creeping right up the 3rd base line. Ramos got jammed severely. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, you never like to hit with the shadows, and that's always advantageous to the team that's ahead. So good for the Nationals. They're up 4-2 right now. When those shadows start to creep around the mound, and the ball is actually coming out of the pitcher's hand in the dark in the shadow, makes it tough for the hitter to pick up.
Ramos reaches out, dumps one into right center, and he's 3 for 3. Right field, left field, right center with his 3 base hits.
That's a nice debut for the 2011 season for Wilson Ramos, throwing a little 3-piece McNugget out there in your first day. Nice job of staying through that baseball, staying on the baseball. We joked in spring training that you want to save all the hard ones for the season, but you'll take them any way you can get. Nice job of hitting.
Here's Lance Nix in a pinch hitting appearance. In the number 9 hole, struck out on Thursday against Peter Moylan. He goes up hacking. He's already in the game on a double switch, but Lance Nix has a little bit of that football mentality that he brings to baseball. He was a high school quarterback out in Midland, Texas, and he told me that he was strictly a baseball player. And when his dad and family got moved out there because of the oil business, when he was a high school guy, he suddenly realized if he didn't play football, he was nobody in Western Texas. So he went out for the football team, made it as a quarterback, and then became a 2-sport star. Of course, Midland, Odessa, out there in West Texas, one of the most famous areas for high school football in the country.
If you have that body that Lance Nix has and you're not on a football field on a Friday night in high school,
you better be a wrestler. 0-2 to Nix. Off-speed pitch that he laid off. Top of the order coming up next, and Ian Desmond. We have 2 leadoff men in this series, Prado and Desmond, who are a combined 0 for 15. Neither team has had much table setting going on here. Nix getting time from Jim Reynolds. Another one low, evens the count. Ask about the Nats at MASNsports.com. We love hearing from you during the game. And if our brilliant crew picks your question, we'll put it on the screen. We'll talk about it and get some intelligent answers, at least from one of us.
I'm going to say that's you.
I'm pretty sure where that's coming from. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Nix takes a fastball that doesn't miss by much.
Lance Nix with a couple good takes of curveball sliders down in the dirt. You got the sinker right there.
Could have been called a strike. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse with the pitch track, where sizzling steaks are part of a memorable experience. 3-2, runners going. Nix a swing and a miss. And into second base, safe, is Ramos with a steal. Oh, wait a minute. We've had catcher's interference. And that's a dead ball. That's a bad break for the Nats. I'm pretty sure that's the call. I heard a tick as if the bat had hit the catcher's mitt. And if that's the case, that is a dead ball situation. Kind of an odd situation, FP, where the defense makes the mistake and it can cost the offense 90 feet.
You look at Lance Nix, got him on the backswing right there. He didn't fall over the plate. He didn't get in the way of Brian McCann. He simply took his swing. Yeah. And I know there was contact there.
So that must be the call. And Ramos will stay at first base. You know, you've got to give the hitter room enough to complete his swing. Catchers are moving forward and that's the catcher causing the contact, not really the hitter.
I think that's what Jim Riggleman was arguing. Yeah, catcher's interference or batter's interference. You know, you come through, you're trying to make the throw to second base, and a lot of times you'll see the hitter fall across home plate. But when you just, in the course of your natural swing, I got to wonder if that's the right call.
1-on-1 out for Desmond. And of course, that was hitter's interference, because if it was catcher's interference, the batter would have been awarded first base. Left-hander George Sherrill, one of their 3 southpaws with O'Flaherty and Venters. The Nationals have already employed 3 relievers today. The Braves are on their second. 1-1 to Desmond. Ball in on his hands and flied to center for McLouth. Ramos went about 3/4 of the way to second base, because we know with this sun there are no routine plays in the outfield today. You can take the Nats with you wherever you go this year. MLB.tv. See every Nationals game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Nationals.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Jason Worth, like Ramos, 3 for 3 today. And off to a great start, 4 for 7. Breaking ball low and away, 1-1. Ryan Zimmerman, if Worth can extend the 6th inning. He got jammed and pops it up right at the bag at second. And caught by Ugla with the runner arriving. Nats had a leadoff hit. They've stranded 7 on to the 7th. Visit AFCEA.org, the Association for IT Pros. Debbie has our sideline report.
Well, Bob, of course, this is the time of year where we're trying to get to know some of the new Nationals players. So I asked Chipper Jones to describe his former teammate and good friend, Adam LaRoche, and he said laid back, but that's not such a bad thing.
A lot of people have criticized him over the years for being too laid back, but I think it's part of his upbringing here in the Braves organization that, you know, he is so laid back, he stays even keeled, but it works better for him.
Chipper said, too, that he really believes that Adam will have a very positive effect on the younger guys trying to spread that even keel behavior.
Well, Adam LaRoche told us in spring training he's not a rah-rah guy. If a young player does something wrong, he will pull him aside, away from the cameras, is exactly the way he said it. And he'll tell him if he did something wrong or if he did something right, either correcting or encouraging, and that's his personality. Nate McLeod, though, for 2, hit by a pitch, leads off the 7th. And Tyler Clippard blows that good fastball by him. Bullpen by committee. FP and I had a chance to spend some time with Todd Coffey at Nats Fest on Wednesday night, and he made an interesting observation that all those guys down there, and there are 8 of them, there's not competition for spots. They're all pulling for each other and trying to pull together. And Nate McLeod has his first base hit of the year. A line drive to right center, and suddenly Chipper Jones will step in as the tying run.
Yeah, we were talking to Todd Coffey about establishing roles during the season. A lot of times for an effective bullpen to be effective, you have to know when you're going in the baseball game. You know your role. I'm the 7th inning guy. I'm the 8th inning guy. I'm the closer, and I think a lot of that's still up in the air with the Nationals. It's something that Jim Riggleman's chose to kind of let it develop during the course of the season. Whoever's effective he's going to go with. Yeah, but you're right, Bob. Todd Coffey's saying, you know what, we're pulling for each other. We just want to go out there and do whatever we can on a given day to help our team win.
Fastball inner half to Chipper Jones. 2 for 3 today with an RBI. 4 for 7 to start the season. He has a good heater going today.
Yeah, Chipper Jones a little bit late on that fastball from Clippard. You got to start to wonder if the shadows are coming into effect right now. But like you said, Bob, Clippard has the plus fastball working. You just want to keep it down in the strike zone. Hard to hit a low ball out of the ballpark. You want to stay low in the strike zone and try to get a ground ball.
And for him, the fastball sets up the changeup. He goes fastball again. Feeling pretty good about the heater.
You know, the one thing you don't want to do is get in too big a hurry to get Chipper Jones out. You're heading the count 0-2. You know, maybe you go somewhere and set up something for a 1-2 or a 2-2 pitch. But you got some time here. You're heading the count. Set something up with the 0-2 count.
Ground ball, Espinosa. Are they quick enough to turn 2? Desmond, yes! A 4-6-3.
Tyler Clippard playing some good old-fashioned country hardball with Chipper Jones. We look at the 0-0 fastball, 93 miles an hour. The Bayou fastball at 93 miles an hour. Chipper late on an 0-2 pitch, and Wilson Ramos doing a good job of switching it up right there with a little off-speed, getting a ground ball from Chipper Jones, and the huge double play for the Nationals.
Great footwork on that relay by Espinosa. Got the ball. Just took that little step towards short to get a little more on that flip throw, and then Desmond, so athletic and such a good strong arm to finish it off. Nationals turning their second double play of the year. Bases wiped clean with 2 outs for McCann. Brian McCann 0 for 3 today. 2 balls to left and a strikeout.
That's a good pitch.
Home run hitter last time up, Dan Uggla. Important to have him leading off the 8th. Up the middle. Did it hit the foot of Clippard? Goes for a base hit. That's too bad because Desmond was playing up the middle. That ball would have been right to him.
Yeah, not a whole lot you can do about that, Tyler Clippard. It's just instinctive. When you're the pitcher and the ball comes back close to you, you try to get some part of your body on it. You see Ian Desmond right behind him. He'd have had that ball in his back pocket, but Tyler Clippard, not realizing the shift was on, probably his whole career, he's tried to keep balls from going back up the middle, doing just that. And it's unfortunate because Desmond was right there to make the play.
And Dan Uggla will be the hitter. Double play huge now in the inning. Uggla 1 for 7 on the season with his 155th career home run, leading off the 6th.
And this guy can get on top of a high fastball. If you're Tyler Clippard or Wilson Ramos right here, you want the ball down in the strike zone. You want to be away from Dan Uggla. If he's going to beat you, make him beat you to the big part of the ballpark, opposite field.
30 homers or more each of the last 4 years for Uggla now. That's a strike.
That's where you want to be. You want to live down there right now. You got to stay down in the strike zone, keep the ball down. That was a great target by Wilson Ramos. You saw him set up right there, calling for the fastball down in the strike zone, putting his glove almost in the dirt. And do that again. Keep the ball down to Dan Uggla. Or go higher than high.
Or high that he can't reach. He's a free swinger, always has been.
And Wilson Ramos doing the same thing right here, trying to get the ball down in the strike zone. But Tyler Clippard says, you know what? I want to play some good old-fashioned country hardball with Dan Uggla and blow number 1 right by him.
One ball and 2 strikes. Close. Uggla's strikeout totals the last 4 years while hitting those 30-plus homers. 167, 171, 150, and 149. That is close.
96 on the black. Tyler Clippard feeling it today.
And he dumps one in the dirt, and the runner will be on the move now with 2 outs. Despite all the home runs, Uggla drove in 100 for the first time last year. 105 with Florida. (3-2) McCann on the move. Fly ball left field. That'll play for Lance Nix. The guys are making some big 2-out pitches today. 7th inning stretch time for 22,000 at the ballpark today. And you can't really minimize the effect that Danny Espinosa's had on this ball club so far.
Well, speaking of hardy and tough, it's been the second baseman for the Washington Nationals the first couple of days. And Danny Espinosa just all over the place.
Home Depot doing more on defense. And right now you could probably call it doing it all on defense.
He's been fantastic the first 2 games. Danny Espinosa with the range right there, making the right decision, going to first base and not second base. just ready for the baseball. And I think when you talk about the Nats defense this year, you got to tip your cap to the Nats pitching staff so far in the first 2 games. Pounding the strike zone, not keeping their defense on the heels, keeping them on their toes. Guys ready to make plays for both games so far.
More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Drew Storen getting ready. 6 outs yet to get. And I know what Jim Riggleman's thinking. It might be Storen for the 8th, because in the 9th, the lineup will recycle its way back up to left-handers McLouth and McCann, with switch hitter Chipper Jones in between them. Scott Linebrink still in the game for the Braves. Bottom 7. Here's Ryan Zimmerman. Ryan today 0 for 1, hit by a pitch and drawing a walk. And the count quickly 0-2. LaRoche, and then the pitcher's spot. Maybe we'll see Matt Stairs this inning. Good job by Clippard, though. A very good inning in 2/3. For now, Stairs a railbird, waiting to get in.
Great job by Tyler Clippard, throwing the fastball all day long. Used a couple effective changeups. So Bob, you were talking about there was times in the past when he liked his off speed a lot. It was nice to see him come in today and just establish that fastball and dominate with it.
So when you have that kind of arm, go hard and then go soft to get him out. Zimmerman rams one up the middle, and the ball gets beyond Nate McLouth. Zimmerman heading for third base at least. Picked up by Hayward, and he'll be at third base to lead off the inning. That ball was a laser beam.
Not a whole lot of hitting on opening day for the Nationals, but we've seen some balls absolutely positively squared up today. Jason Worth with a couple. Ryan Zimmerman right there with an absolute P-rod to center field. You know, and that's the toughest play for a center fielder. You talk about the line drive right at you, the low, hard line drive. You know, you only have an instant to either decide to go in or go back on it. Right there, the ball got by McLouth, and Ryan Zimmerman did a nice job of hustling into third base.
Nate McLouth had a split-second decision to make. It got away from him. Lefty-lefty matchup coming up.
Braves. Let's take a look at that last swing by Ryan Zimmerman and check out Nate McLouth in center field. A lot of times as a center fielder, it's hard to pick up the baseball when the hitter is batting in the shadows. You're looking in and it's kind of dim in there, and you're wondering if he got the best jump he could have had it been light at the plate. Just a little instant, a little hesitation is all it takes on a low line drive, and You know, Ryan Zimmerman hit that ball very hard, but in center field sometimes when you're looking into home plate, and especially when you have your glasses on, it makes it even darker back there. So you're wondering if maybe Nate McLeod saw that ball well off the bat.
Zimmerman given a triple on that play. Here's LaRoche. With the runner at third, infield in, nobody out against George Sherrill, who bends one outside. Signed by the Braves as a free agent December 10th. 65 games for the Dodgers last year with a horrible ERA of 6.69. Situational guy. Those 65 appearances only accounted for 36 innings.
Had a 9 ERA in spring training. Opponents hit .395 off of him in Florida.
One ball, one strike. Jerry Hairston Jr. on deck to hit for Clippard. And LaRoche takes a fastball high in the zone. A ball and 2 strikes. Haven't seen each other very much, but pretty good success. One of those 2 hits, a home run, 3 driven in. Breaking ball, LaRoche up the middle. Zimmerman stays as Uggla throws him out. Hairston, a good contact man, and about to be announced as the pinch hitter. Jordan Zimmerman tomorrow against Tim Hudson. Great matchup. Nats Extra 1 o'clock. FP and I join you at 1:30. First pitch from Jordan Zimmerman, 1:35. And DC 50 joins us tomorrow. It'll be great to have them aboard. 34-year-old Jerry Hairston Jr. 244 for the Padres with 50 RBIs last year. They will walk him and face lefty Rick Ankiel. I wonder how many times Jerry Hairston's been walked intentionally in his career.
He'll tell you lots.
With those 59 career home runs of his in 12 years. Well, sets up a good situation for Ankiel. And we'll go back and have a quick visit. This is interesting. Adam LaRoche just made an out. And Ankiel went over to him to chat at the dugout. LaRoche may be cueing him in on what the left-hander's throwing, and there's Ankiel's heroics back in the third to give the Nats the 4-1 lead. But that shows you, FP, how Adam LaRoche is into this game. He's probably upset, just made an out with the runner in scoring position, but he hangs around to help the guy 2 hitters down with what this pitcher's throwing.
Yeah, what'd you see? What's his curveball look like? What's his fastball look like? How are the shadows right now? You know, I'm sure Rick Ankiel have a lot of questions, but Adam LaRoche, the team ball players, going to take some time after making a tough out to help his teammate out.
That's good leadership. Sherrill, by the way, tough on lefties. Look where he is on the pitching rubber, far first base side. So Ankiel buckles a little bit at the breaking ball that catches the inside corner. I think right-hander Peter Moylan pitches in every game the Nats and the Braves play, every year.
If you're Rick Ankiel right here, you're thinking the other way. It takes care of the curveball, it takes care of the fastball. If you pull off something right here, you're thinking drive the ball the other way.
He bunts, squeeze play, national score. Great call by Jim Riggleman, great execution. A guy homers, and then he squeezes a run in later with a bunt. Nice.
And check out the smiles in the dugout. There have been a lot of smiles in the Nationals dugout today, and they've all been geared toward Rick Ankiel with the 3-run home run, the squeeze right here. You know why that squeeze worked? Is because nobody expected it. I was thinking maybe squeeze with Jerry Hairston Jr. up there. He was intentionally walked. Nobody in the park thinking about a squeeze right here. Not Freddie Gonzalez, not us up here in the booth. It surprised me. And just a great job of execution right there by Rick Ankiel.
And, of course, with the runner Zimmerman going, that's the suicide squeeze. And a guy who homers executes it perfectly. He'll have as much fun with that after the game as he did with the home run.
I used to get that play a lot, and I'll tell you, nothing will get your heart beating. Looking down at your third base coach, he puts on the suicide squeeze, and by the time you get in the box and the pitcher delivers the baseball, you can feel your heart beating through your chest because you know the runner's coming down the line. You know you got to get the ball down, and in the shadows on top of it. Great job by Rick Ankiel.
You know, Rick was a really good hitter as a pitcher, obviously, but he was a good bunter in St. Louis as well. Who would know that years and years later he'd be called upon to do that after hitting a 2-run homer. Nats lead 5-2. Espinosa 0 for 2 with a sac fly. He'll lay off that pitch up and away.
Well, it just gets back to the fundamental thing we've been talking about the whole game today. Guys getting on base and national hitters moving guys over, pitchers bunting, a successful squeeze play right there. You know, that was a big thing they stressed in spring training. Fundamentals, playing the game the right way, and you've seen it all day long today.
Abner Doubleday would enjoy this game today if he was watching. Yeah, maybe he is.
And you know who else's heart was beating through their jersey?
Zimmerman?
Jim Riggleman.
Oh, okay.
After he put it on. That was a long wait between putting that sign on, relaying it to Bo Porter putting it on. That was a long wait for the skipper.
Espinosa strikes out. Nationals squeeze their way to a 5th run here in the 7th inning. And on to the 8th, 5-2 Washington. Nationals lead 5-2 despite being out hit 9-8. And Drew Storen takes over. Drew Storen's first appearance of the regular season. Some issues for most of spring training that he appeared to iron out pretty well toward the end.
Yeah, one of them was keeping his foot close to the ground. He went up to Jason Worth and Matt Stairs and was talking to them. And they said, you were so effective last year because you kept your foot close to the ground. You had that little slide step action working. Early in spring training, Drew Storen was getting hit all over the place in Florida with a big leg kick. So the adjustment he made was keeping that foot close to the ground. He got on top of his pitches. He was low in the strike zone. Big difficulty in spring training throwing strike one. But the last couple of times, Bob, we saw him in Florida, just lights out.
On the heels of 5 big outs by Tyler Clippard, things were a little tense when he came in that 6th inning.
Yeah, the bullpen's been lights out so far this season for the Nationals. It's been 2 games, but they were great last year, and they've picked up right where they left off. And Tyler Clippard's been outstanding. You look at the pitches right here. A little change-up induced ground ball double play. Pumping the fist. I mean, that's a big play. And he was throwing fastballs by hitters in fastball counts, which shows me that he had plus stuff. We know all about the deception that he has with the 96-mile-an-hour fastball. He didn't need any deception today.
Hayward leads off for the Braves. A walk, a grounder, a pop-up. Two young men that over the years should get to know each other very well in the National League East. Left-hander Sean Burnett. As I mentioned, even if this is a 1-2-3-8, some Braves left-handed hitters will come into play in the ninth, and that's why Burnett would be the ninth inning guy today. Storen misses up and away with a fastball, 2-1.
And this is where, if you're Drew Storen, this is your save. I know he wanted to be the closer out of camp, and he still will get his opportunities with the Nationals this season. But you come in the 8th inning with a 3-run lead, you have to treat this like it's the 9th.
Hayward in the air, short right center. Jason Worth. Our buddies, the Potomac Nationals, begin the defense of their Carolina League Championship Friday, April 8th, down at Fitzner Stadium in Woodbridge. Opening day, fans receive a replica championship ring, first of many new and exciting promotions. Make the short drive from D.C., discover the next Danny Espinosa. Who knows? The Potomac Nationals join the party, and Bob Boone tells us that that roster at Potomac is absolutely loaded this year. Those kids have come up from low A for the most part to high A ball together. Who knows? Bryce Harper could be there sometime during the summer after starting at Hagerstown. But the Potomac Nationals are really, really loaded with talent this year, and you folks will enjoy going to see them. Gonzalez to left. Nix on the run. That ball is into the bullpen. Alex Gonzalez, who hit 23 homers last year, gets the Braves a solo here in the 8th. Out of here in a hurry, that one.
Well, that's what makes that add-on run that the Nationals just got in their half of the inning that much more important. You look at a slider down the strike zone, a good piece of hitting by Gonzalez, going down and getting that, some serious extension, some serious backspin. I didn't think that ball was getting out of the park when he hit it, but it did have that sound. He squared it up.
There's Freddie Freeman, who's 2 for 3. Drew Storen gave up 3 home runs in 55 innings a year ago. And the Braves have hit a pair of solos today.
And nice job of Drew Storen getting right back in the strike zone. He's an excitable type, a type A personality out there, giving up a home run in his first outing of the season. You want to see how he'd react. Well, right back in the strike zone, an 0-2 count. That's a good sign.
Freddie Freeman, power guy, 50 minor league home runs in 4 years, just under 4 years. Hit a home run in his Braves debut last year. He knew that was a breaking ball in there. Storen freezes him with a killer backdoor slider.
That was one, as soon as Freddie Freeman took it, he knew it was a called third. He didn't even wait for the call. That's a good pitch and a great pitch by Drew Storen. That's the nasty one we saw at the end of spring training.
Eric Kinski has been announced as the pinch hitter. Looks like Jim Riggleman might go to Burnett here in the 8th inning. Storen is done. He gets the Nats 2 outs around the solo home run, and Burnett on his way. broadcast on Masson, brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Nice and warm in the team store. A lot of things to choose from in there. And in between the pitching change, a little huddled there. Pudge Rodriguez always listening, always soaking it in, helping out when needed.
And Steve McCatty saying, hey, you did a good job. You got Hayward to fly out. It was a good pitch to Gonzalez, and you struck out Freddie Freeman on a nasty slider. That's a good outing. It's something to build on. Building up his emotional young pitcher. That's still up by 2. Here's Hinske, a very good pinch hitter who last year had 3 pinch hit home runs. Not this time. Big hop. LaRoche. And a great job by Burnett. 1 pitch, 1 out. It's into the bottom of the 8th. The Nationals on top 5-3. And Gonzalez solos. Rick Ankiel has the big blast of the game, a homer, but he did something else pretty big. We'll call this our Ford drive of the game. We'll call it a Ford compact car. How about that? Rick Ankiel with a little suicide squeeze action. Why did it work? Because he squared around late. I mean, kids watching at home, if you ever get the squeeze sign, the best way to give it away is squaring around too early. If you square around too early, the pitcher has the option to throw the ball right at your head or pitch out, and it makes it a lot more tough on everybody involved. Rick Ankiel squared around late. Ryan Zimmerman not giving it away at third base. It was just a perfectly executed squeeze and a big run in this baseball game. Peter Moylan, 85 games last year. He's on a pace for 162 this year, although he only pitched a third of an inning with a strikeout on Thursday. Busy right-hander. He can just about throw every day. That motion of his puts very little strain on his arm and his body. And here's Wilson Ramos, 3 for 3 today. Eight hits for the Nats, 10 for the Braves. There's so many little things go on in a squeeze play. We talked about Jim Riggleman worrying about it on the bench, but you always wonder if your hitter got the sign. The runner will always get it from the third base coach. You'll walk up to the runner and say squeeze is on, and you hope the third baseman doesn't hear you. But there's so many little things that go on in that one play. And a lot of times teams will have an answer for it. So if you're in the batter's box, maybe you're looking at the barrel of your bat, meaning I got the squeeze play. Some teams just don't have an answer at all because they're worried about the other manager knowing that the squeeze is on and them tipping the squeeze. That's sort of play you don't see a lot in baseball anymore because there's just so many things that have to go right just to bring in that one little run. A big run, as it were. And FP and I, during the break, my partner making a good point. Ankiel cannot square around too soon or else they pitch out and Zimmerman's dead. Brian Broderick. And Ramos overmatched on a breaking ball from Moylan for the first out, bottom 8. Lance Nix will be next. Well, you look at the do-ups. Would he bring in the rookie Broderick to pitch to Prado with McLouth and Chipper Jones after that?
You would think that's why Sean Burnett's already in the game. By the way, for these games this weekend, Tom Gorzolani also listed as a left-hander available in the bullpen. That would be more in a long or middle relief role if he had to be used, because he will not be starting until next weekend in New York. Day off yesterday, day off tomorrow. No need for a fifth starter for the first week of the season. Ripped up the middle by Lance Nix, his first hit as a Nat. He's aboard with one out here in the 8th.
Nice short compact swing by Lance Nix, checking in with his first knock as a National. Now hitting .333, 1 for 3 on the year.
Like it. It's time for Desmond to get in that column as the Nats try to double their hit total from Thursday.
I've been in Ian Desmond's shoes before. A lot of times you want to start the season off well. You want that average. You want to walk to the plate and see 300, 400, 500 by your name on the scoreboard. And a lot of times you try too hard to get that first hit.
Oh for 4 today, 0 for 8 to start the season. Almost the entire infield in the shadows now. Just a little bit of a flinch towards second base by Nix before he got back.
And guys will come up to you in the dugout and they see you stressing a little bit, maybe pressing. Have you ever gone 0 for the season before? It just makes you relax a little bit, knowing that, yeah, I'm going to get that hit sooner or later.
They laugh in Milwaukee whenever Bob Uecker tells them he did go 0 for June one year. That's a strike call, a swing seen by Mike DeMuro down at first.
Let's check it out. Did he go?
Very close. 50-50 call. A reminder, Monday through Friday, 5:30, 6:30, Mid-Atlantic Sports Report. A great panel of baseball experts to tell you what's going on with the Nats and around baseball every day of the week, Monday through Friday, right before we join you with Nats Extra here at the ballpark. You know, Mel Antonin, longtime USA Today guy, hanging around the ballpark so much the last couple of years. I'm glad we finally put him to work here. Tom Davis and company. Phil Wood. And Dave Johnson. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Desmond. Lots of hitting room right side if they work him away. Ian pulling to Chipper. Relayed by Ugla. Desmond, good speed even from the right side of the batter's box, beating it out.
You talk about Jason Worth having a great day and getting him to the plate right now. How'd they get him to the plate? Watch his slide by Lance Nix. That's how you break up a double play, folks. You go in there hard and you let them know you're coming. There was a big emphasis of this on spring training. And the Nationals wanted everybody in the league to know that when the ball's hit on the ground, we're to come get you on a double play. You see Lance Nix right there with a great swing and a better job of breaking up, too. You just got your big guy to the plate with that slide.
And here's where Worth batting second is big. Desmond has good speed, but like a lot of young ball players, doesn't really know how to steal a lot of bases yet. 17 stolen last year, caught 5 times.
We talked about the shadows for the hitters. It never used to bother me if they were in the shade and I was in the shade. It's always harder if the pitcher's in the dark and you're in the light and the ball's changing colors. It's going from dark to bright or bright to dark. But right now, I think these guys can see pretty well up there because you got the pitcher in the shade and the hitter in the shade. You can pick up the seams. You can pick up the rotation. You can see the ball out of the pitcher's hand.
Worth having a hard time getting dug in. He is now. 1-0 the count from Peter Moylan, who does not give up home runs very often. And of course, with that delivery of his, he's not capable of throwing a ball straight.
No, and this is where if you're Jason Worth, you got 3 knocks on the day already. Your team's up by 2 runs. You're ahead in the count 2-0. You absolutely look for a pitch and just come unglued. Looking for something up in the strike zone. That ball down by Moylan. When you're ahead in the count, you're looking for something up that you can drive.
2008, Moylan gave up 1 home run to Ryan Zimmerman. Of course, he was hurt later in the season, but he's just not a guy that you can elevate the ball against very well. Now it's 3-1. It's a walk, and Worth is aboard for Zimmerman, sending Desmond down to second base. Every time these two face each other, we relive the first night in this ballpark's existence. It was chilly that night, and Zimmerman had the Nats walk off.
And that's something you never forget. I mean, you know, Moylan knows that. Zimmerman knows that. They'll play against each other 10 years from now, and they'll remember that at bat.
Zimmerman 1 for 2 with his 13th career triple. Hit by a pitch and a walk. And you can't hit a ball any harder than that laser he hit that got by Nate McLouth last time. So these two have had an interesting history.
That's some serious ownage right there.
Ownage. And a strike to the outside corner, 1-1.
Yeah, you know when you see a guy well. He knows when you see him well. When you remember your encounters, and as a hitter, you remember the pitches that you hit well off him, and maybe you go somewhere else and look for something that you haven't seen from him, or just see it big, and I'm sure that's what Ryan Zimmerman does off Moylan.
Ryan Zimmerman has been on base 5 times in 2 games so far. He got jammed. That's a fair ball. Off the glove of Chipper. Racing home is Desmond. And the Nationals lead 6-3. Zimmerman on base 4 times today, checking in with his first RBI of the year.
And we show the stats before. The owners that he has on Peter Moylan, just a chopper down the line. Chipper Jones a little bit late getting over there, but Ryan Zimmerman will take it. Knock, RBI, and a very, very big run.
Nats get their 3-run lead back. Moylan is done. LaRoche on the way. 6-3 Washington.
On Mass and HD, it's the Nats and the Braves as they close out this series. A great pitching matchup. Tim Hudson against Jordan Zimmerman. Coverage begins at 1 o'clock with the Nats Extra. Tomorrow on Mass and HD, Nats and Braves.
Long anticipated return to the mound of Jordan Zimmerman this year. Looking for a full, knock on wood, healthy season from him. The other Zimmerman just got an RBI hit. Here's LaRoche against the left-hander Eric O'Flaherty. Adam goes up swinging. Pop fly behind short. Martin Prado, and this game is into the 9th inning. Nats pick up a big run. It's a 3-run lead with 3 outs to get. Sean Burnett in the ball game. He saved 3 for the Nats last year. Came in to retire Hinsky, the pinch hitter, in the bottom of the 8th. Martin Prado leads off, top 9. Here we go. Fastball, strike 1. Best pitch in baseball, fastball with movement for strike 1, Greg Maddux used to say. Prado 0 for 4. Low and away. Nice to have a ball club that is solid defensively, and you don't have to make 3 changes in the field to get ready for the 9th inning. It hasn't always been that way around here, and Jim Riggleman knows he has some guys he can rely on out there. 2-1 pitch, and Burnett nibbling misses. You don't want to nibble in a 3-run game when Chipper Jones is 2 hitters away.
Now let your defense work behind you. You just talked about it, Bob. Great job the first 2 games making all the plays. Let them work.
Fastball at the letters, 3-2. Three on the strike, and Prado had a good rip. Nate McLouth is next. He's been on base twice. Chipper Jones in the hole, 2 for 4 with an RBI single. Burnett throws another strike. Into the glove. Quite a pick. And Sean Burnett retires Martin Prado.
That first out is always so big when you come on for the save. Sean Burnett trying to do the 4-out save variety today, but you just throw a strike in there, 3-2. Let your defense work behind you, and maybe you're the defense behind you. A great play by Sean Burnett. I don't know if he caught that ball or that ball caught him, but either way, it's a big out in the 9th.
And it's not like that ball hit flat ground. It hit on the hill of the mound and popped up into his glove. Home plate umpire Jim Reynolds had given the safe sign for a ball hitting the ground. Great pick by Burnett, and here's McLeod. Fastball tails inside.
That biggest out, the biggest out in the ninth is that first one. You just don't want the leadoff guy to get on and let that other team, the opposing team, feel like they have any chance at all. You know, how many times have you seen a rally start with a leadoff walk, a leadoff base hit? Now the pitcher starts pressing a little bit on for a save. You get that first out, it's such a big deal.
Fastball on 2-0 in there. No way Chipper Jones can represent the tying run. That's the good news. Strike two. Target low. Fastball jams it. Burnett can't get that one. Desmond can. 2 outs. Great range and speed by Ian Desmond. Funny, Burnett gets the scorcher. Couldn't get that one, but his shortstop backed him up.
You talk about hitting being contagious. Good defense is contagious as well. Nice play right here by Ian Desmond on the second base side.
That's pretty.
Sean Burnett missing this one. It was like a changeup to him. He thought that ball was hit a little bit harder. It got by him, but when you got the guys playing like they are behind you, just throw strikes and make them put the ball in play.
Johnny and Ray here at the ballpark. Nats extra straight ahead after the third out is made. It'll be a tough third out. Chipper Jones 2 for 4. A pair of singles and RBI. And swinging from the right side, he fouls it back 1-1. Nats trying to even the series with the Braves. 1-1 after beating Atlanta 10 out of 18 last year.
Be interesting to see if Chipper Jones plays tomorrow. Not moving around too well at third base today.
That's close to the corner. And for some hitters, probably most hitters, that's a strike call. A strike away. Crowd of 21,941 braving some crazy weather today. Sun, wind, rain, hail.
We nailed this thing down. Everybody will tell themselves it was 75 and sunny. We saw the Nats' first win of 2011.
Play right side. Fan makes a great catch with his ball cap. Everybody playing defense today. Gotta play again. Sean Burnett trying to get a 4-out save. Up the middle, and he's going to grab another one. Ball game over. And the Nationals with some serious glove work today. Beat Atlanta 6-3. Man, you know your defense is good when the pitcher's catching line drives and short hops. FP and I back in a moment. This game is over.